Welcome back to another episode of 40 Facts About the 40K Universe. I am your host, Gersh1, and you are watching One Mind Syndicate. Today we continue talking about Space Marine chapters as we get into the Revilers. If you're new to the channel, subscribe. We post Warhammer 40K content every single day, and of course if you have any suggestions, just comment down below. But with that said, let's get into 40 facts on the Revilers. The Revilers is a loyalist Space Marine chapter, and a rare second founding successor chapter of the Raven Guard. The ranks of the Revilers were drawn heavily from the veterans of the original 19th Legion, those few survivors of the drop site massacre of Isstvan V. The Revilers wear gray power armor. The Revilers chapter badge is the profile of a human skull shot from top left to lower right by a yellow lightning bolt, although some depictions forego the lightning bolt. This is centered on a field of gray. The Revilers specialize in jungle and wet weather environment warfare. Like its predecessors, the Raven Guard, the chapter specializes in guerrilla tactics behind enemy lines, using precisely coordinated attacks and refraining from frontal attacks or protracted attrition warfare. The chapter uses rapid maneuver engagements consisting of assault marines, land speeders, and assault bikes aimed at harassment, sabotage, and destruction of key targets over the direct engagement of enemy forces at large. Revilers tactical squads are usually deployed using Thunderhawk insertions, supported by drop pod deployed dreadnoughts. The Revilers also rely heavily on their scout marine elements, who operate without support for an unusually extended amount of times, even by Space Marine standards. The chapter almost always combines small unit tactics with its preference for covert, behind enemy line operations. During the second founding, when the original Space Marine legions were partitioned at the end of the Horus Heresy, 3 new chapters were sired from the gene seed of the Raven Guard. The Revilers was one of these 3 original second founding chapters. The Revilers' ranks were drawn heavily from the veterans of the original Legion, and they have ever pursued vengeance against those traitors who betrayed the Raven Guard on that fateful day. The Revilers have proven to be worthy inheritors of the Primarch Corvus Corax, striking in battles with stealth and precision before fading back into the shadows. In this way, they have bled dry countless foes. The Revilers are most famous for their actions during the Purging of Azoth. On the planet of Azoth, the chapter encountered Inquisitor Jovis Theon, known as the Firebrand Puritan, and by whose hands both the guilty and the innocent had burned on the pyre. He turned renegade when he fell under the influence of the denizens of the Warp. In league with the Dark Apostles of the Wordbearers Traitor Legion, he triggered a full-scale demonic incursion on the planet of Azoth. Theon's former peers petitioned the Revilers chapter for aid, and while victory was theirs, the subsequent Azoth drop cost the chapter dearly. Having slain the fallen Inquisitor and purged the cursed planet, the surviving Battle Brothers were subjected to mnemonic purgation so that the Inquisitor Theon's sins may be expunged for all time from the history of the Imperium. Years later, at the Battle of the Gorgon Depths, the Revilers and the Red Seraph Space Marine chapters aided Battlefleet Orpheus in the Orpheus sector of the Segmentum Tempestus, confronting and eventually defeating a major Orc invasion in a 19-week-long running space battle before it could fully penetrate the sector. The Orc menace was finally curbed when its flagship, Mega Cruiser, was destroyed in a savage boarding action led by the spearhead of the Space Marine Terminators. Scattered Orc survivors slinked away in the darkness and went on to prove a constant thorn in the side of the Orphean worlds for centuries to come, as pirates and raiders who concealed themselves in the debris system and turbulent gravitic vortexes that bordered the Orphean Diluvian subsector. Another campaign against the Orcs occurred when for almost 300 years the Orc Empire of Arbuts ruled the Cypher subsector and was left unmolested until a campaign of reconquest was finally begun in the year 204 of the 41st millennium. The reconquest was led by troops of the Raven Guard, Marauders, Eagle Warriors, and Reviler Space Marine chapters, supported by over 24 Imperial Guard regiments. In a long, hard-fought campaign, these troops battled to reclaim the planet's loss to Warlord Arbuts, until finally in the year 224 of the 41st millennium, the subsector was declared free of the taint of alien infection. Being seen as experts in the eradication of the Greenskins, the Revilers participated in the reconquest of the Forsar sector, where after 3 standard years of the fall of the sector's vital hive world capital of Forsar in the Segmentum Tempestus, the Administratum finally recognized the true threat posed by the Orcs. The Aurora chapter joined a powerful coalition with their brethren, the Revilers and the Death Eagles, as well as a demi-legio of Titans of the Legio Estraman, and several regiments of the Imperial Guard and ecclesiarchal troops. They took the fight to the Orcs and reclaimed the Forsar sector for the Emperor. It is unknown if the fact that the Raven Guard's homeworld of Deliverance, which is also located in the Forsar sector, prompted this deployment. And those were 40 facts on the Revilers. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys have any other suggestions for other Space Marine chapters, please comment down below. I really like this chapter because it focuses on fighting the Orcs, and I play Orcs. Now, reading this lore, I kind of wish that I would have created a Space Marine chapter based around specializing in fighting Orcs, so like jungle warfare and just greenskin killing, basically. It would be really fun, and it would blend well with my other armies, fluff-wise. So I regret not doing that. But yeah, maybe I can start another chapter sometime. Maybe my Primaris chapter can be focused on destroying Orcs or something like that. Thank you guys so much for listening. Don't forget that we have a Patreon. A simple $1 a month helps us create more videos for you guys. If you can't support us on Patreon, we understand. Simply by liking, commenting, and sharing, it really helps out the channel. But with that said, I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. This was Gersh1 with One Mind Syndicate signing out.